I think the most important thing is to go back to the basics, to really understand, again, what is the customer demand for services and for telco. I think connectivity is still very important. It's definitely one of the basic needs that people have, but also trying to understand what are the needs that our brand, which is a very powerful brand, can do to really have a positive impact in Oman as a country, as a society. So if we find the space in which we can combine both having customer at the center and having a positive impact in Oman as a country, I think is the right path for growth, and wherever we will see that we have a good monetization story in the region and in the country. Many of the digital disruptors are analogic industries doing things digitally. Telcos have been the other way around, so we are a digital service that has been doing things analogically. And I think we need to regain that mentality of doing things with a digital first mindset. That means that probably it's not only about how do we define the products, but also how do we design the customer journeys, because you see that customers interact with brands in an omni-channel way, and then we need to be able to give a response to that. That is one thing. If you take that mentality of designing customer journeys in a digital way and then you expand it, going to the question of sustainability, diversity, inclusion, then you see that our digital capability, it is something that can expand the industries that typically customers don't have access to, and to reach places in which without digital wouldn't happen. I think the most important thing is to acknowledge that telco as a product as it was before, just having direct to customer mentality and have a B2C, business to customer way of approaching and way of doing go to market, is not necessarily the way in which customers will demand connectivity and telco. So I think as an industry we need to evolve a little bit more to try to make use cases in which we create platforms and we do what I call B2B2C, which is to empower with our network services that without Ooredoo couldn't exist, and then try to understand which is the brand relevance and the experience that we want to provide still with our brand, but with use cases that don't necessarily are not necessarily being developed by us ourselves. So that platform B2B2C and that understanding of the customer journey beyond the direct to customer relationship, I think is where telco needs to evolve to in order to keep serving the demand of customers. Probably there's no possibility to have one of these conversations without the topic of AI jumping in. I think we're clearly doing baby steps from an AI perspective. I think it's an uncharted territory, and for sure it's going to change the way we do things. Probably not in such a disruptive way when people think about threats of society and safety. I think that it is in the same way that people were doing maths without calculators and then nobody could think about doing calculators without maths. I think nobody will be able to understand how to do business without AI. But currently the models that are, capturing the attention are language models that are probably not that much needed in the telco space. What we do right now in telco is try to prevent which is the customer behaviors, how to serve customers' needs better, how do we have models that tells us what the customers want to do or want to demand from different industries. The way in which we have that put at the service of the customer and we use the knowledge that we have of him or her to serve better the demands, I think is the way to go with AI.